fat guy. I'm a fat guy. Big fat guy with the beard, no hair, lots of tears. Fat guy. I'm a fat guy. I'm a fat guy. I'm a fat guy. I'm a fat guy. Fat guy with beard, no hair, lots of tears. I lost the rhyme. Respect Oakland. Respect Oakland. Are you kidding me or what, guy? Did you think you'd see a white guy wear a shirt that says respect Oakland? Yeah, maybe a white guy with long, goofy hair, blue, and a nose piercing, but not a bald white guy with a beard that just looks angry on the road and still yells at Asians on the road. Yeah, you wouldn't expect a guy that looks like he beats women, calls black guy the C word, and just throws burritos at people's faces. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I look like. But guess what, guy? Looks are deceiving. Albert Einstein said that once. And that guy was smart. It's Midnight in the Bay podcast. I came in with my own music. I'm rapping now, guy. I'm a dad rapper. Smokes like a weed. I'm pumped up. Okay, I miss you guys. I only do one episode a week. It's not enough. But I'm lazy. It's episode 193 of Midnight in the Bay podcast. And it's Alex Woody. I'm hyped up. I had some coffee, a little coffee. And a little, oh shit, is that grandma's lace? I'm set. And that's like a legal speedball, you know what I mean? So that's cool. I went from illegal speedball to legal speedball right now. We're making progress. Respect Oakland. And by the way, this is the Oakland A's. They don't sponsor the podcast. You know what I mean? But I like some free tickets. That'd be cool. Baseball. I sucked at it, but I like watching it. My son's way better than me at baseball. I used to go, oh my God. I was that kid. Oh, my kid's just crushing it at 8. They're like, Jesus Christ, what is this, Babe Ruth reincarnated? My son broke a bat on the field. Yeah, I'm going to be one of those dads bragging. Were you any good? Oh, yeah, I was good. Yeah. No, I'm going to be one of the dads. Shitty at sports, always back up, but kid's amazing. You know what I mean? And I have no problem being that dad because guess what, guy? I still fuck. Women, of course, my wife. But like, people still like me. So that's not true. The wife says she likes me, but she also says she hates me sometimes. Guess what? Okay, the sun's cooler. Okay, I'll admit it. The sun's cooler. But you know what? I'm making him cool. I'm like, okay, don't do this. Don't paint your fingernails and try to be gothic. Don't get into magic cards. Okay, whatever you do, don't get into magic. You will not get the willy sucked if you get into magic cards. I'm like naming all my mistakes. Ask a girl to dance. Okay, don't be a loser. You know what I mean? And if you get fat, just embrace it. Well, I started doing that too. That's how I kind of got into comedy. Is I just started. I'm going in and out of the background. It's kind of creepy. Let's put the mic down. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. But if you turn the gain up, it hurts. It hurts the mic, and it doesn't sound that good. But no, I need to stand up straight. I don't want to be fat and have a hunch. Notre Dame. So, anyways, I got into comedy because I was overweight. And people call me pepperoni nipples, and it looks like you take after your mother with that chest, and you're always bleeding from the pelvic area. Yeah, you always threw balls at my pelvic area. No wonder it's small. Thanks, Billy. And so, now satire, these are jokes. It's not that small. It's not bleeding. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know what I was saying. I had to be funny in school. Okay. Thanks, Mary Jane. I had to be funny in school. I can't smoke this much before shows. It'd be a horrible show. At least with the podcast, you know what you're getting here, right, Grandma? 2 listeners only. So I can't believe I made it to 193 without jumping off a bridge. So I just have to be funny in school, and I'm ever doing spitballs on a girl. I got in trouble. This girl, she was a mean chick. She had a wig. I don't know if she had cancer or she just shaved her head and liked to wear wigs. She had a wig, and she would do spitballs at people on the bus. And I was one of the few to stand up. Maybe this is why I'm a comedian. I was one of the few to stand up to her. And I got that straw. I was like, Darnell, give me a straw now. Yeah, we had mixed classes. Yeah, I was cool with the blacks. I know I look like I hung out with Trump and banged and did drugs with Donald Trump Jr. and shot rabbits and laughed. I know I look like that guy, but I'm not. Okay, I'm a nice guy. I like all races, except the Swedish people. Kidding, kidding. Am I? And so I was like, give me that straw, Darnell. And I spit the ball and I hit the chick. And I remember her going, mommy. I'm like, I mean, come on. That's the worst when someone's a bully and then they get it back and like that video of the Karen, right? Did you see that one video where she's about to attack the lady and then the lady gets the camera out? Sister. And the lady goes, that's what this chick was like. And then I got in trouble, right? This is how I related to that video. I got in trouble and I'm like, what the fuck? Chubby lives matter. Come on, principal. And eventually it was like, you just gotta not come tomorrow, kid. We don't know what's going on. We know she's crazy. We took statements from Billy and Darnell and Tommy Jr., but you have to stay home, which I didn't mind. You know what I mean? I'll stay at home and watch TV. No problem. Oh, oh, mom, you have to leave and leave me here all day with all the snacks? Bye. TV, MTV, Road Rules, Real World. What is making love? This is cool. I was like obsessed with dating as a young kid and didn't date. I was like, what? This is cool. Oh my God, they're under sheets and they're wrestling. This is, why is this getting, God, you're such a dummy when you're young. You know what I mean? Waste of time. I should have read a book, you know? That's the other thing I make my kid. I'm like, I see him watching dumb TV. I'm like, go read a book. You know what I mean? Let me watch the dumb TV. Let me be dumb. I take his dumbness for him. I do things so he doesn't have to do it. Yeah, don't do drugs. Watch. This is what happens when you do drugs. You know, just freak him out. That's what I did last Saturday. I bought a bunch of cocaine and mushrooms and acid and salvia and just took it on. I mean, if you do wrong in front of your kid, I've talked about this on the podcast, they will make sure they don't do it. You know, you have to be an example. My parents have told me this. My teachers have told me this. Police officers have told me this when I was naked in a park one time on mushrooms. You have to be a good example. And that's what I am. I'm showing what not to do. Yeah, tell stories. Those aren't believable. And kids have ADD. Have you ever tried telling a kid nowadays a story? They're like, you have to be 12 seconds nowadays. You have to say stuff in 12 seconds. Or the kid is, what's this? And good luck if they have video games on. They won't even look at you. You're like, geez, did you go handicap here? Wait, look at me, you know? So I have to get a story out in 10 seconds. You know how that is? Don't do this, don't do that. This is what you don't do. Coke. He's like, Dad, you spoke too soon. That's why I had a drug overdose. I didn't understand you. Yeah, because you got ADD now. I thought I had ADD. Oof. I was talking to one of his friends and I was like, so you know, you gotta be more careful. Zoom! He's off on the scooter. See ya, pops. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit. They're not paying attention. Plus, kids that aren't your kids, they're not gonna listen to you. I can't save some of my son's friends, and some of them are I worry, you know what I mean? I scare my kid with stuff so he doesn't go bonkers, you know. And even my I talked to my cousin who's home from school, college, you know, 23. He's like, oh, my friend got shot with a gun. We kind of live in a bad neighborhood. Oh, that's cool. Definitely not worried about you. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, you can't save the friends of your loved ones, right? You could talk to the loved ones, they're probably gonna listen, right? You tell the cousin, be careful, don't hang out with dummies, maybe you should move home. But people aren't really, they don't give a fuck, you know, which whatever. I didn't give a fuck with people. Oh my God, I just spilled my coffee. I didn't give a fuck when, you know, I get it. I was there too. I made horrible mistakes. I should have listened to those people. I remember I had one mom of a friend um, save my ass. And I'm not even saying like making sure my ass doesn't freeze from hypothermia and breaks off. Like I'm saying, I was drunk with her son, and I always had to. Remember, you always had to check in with your parent. Oh, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. Can you imagine doing that as an adult? Hey, make sure you check in with me. I want to make sure you're safe. And I get it. I'm a parent now. I'm gonna be a psycho. I'm gonna have a GPS on my son's phone. Our phone sucked when I was a kid, so my mom didn't have that feature. I mean, she definitely would have had it. But I'm gonna put a fucking chip in my kid. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Come on, Elon, help me out here. Um, let me know where you're gonna be at, what time you're home, who you're staying at. Just check in with me, right? And one time I didn't, and it was like the first time I saw boobs. I started drinking hard. I mean, here's my thing: if I'm at a party and people aren't taking it to another level, I'm going choo choo. Let's go down the rail station. Okay, let's go. Okay, it's a party. I and I was acting like a caboose. Let me tell you, I was. This girl showed her boobs, and they were pierced. The first boobs I ever saw were pierced. That's a wild thing to see. Jesus, and well, and I knew they probably should have been pierced because these are chicks hanging under a bridge. It was what was it called? It was called like the overpass or something. And we parked our cars and you had to hike half a mile with all the alcohol and stuff. High school, right? And then there was like a bonfire and it was like under the freeway. I was like, this is hobo-ish. You do as a kid, it's like exciting. You do as an adult, you're called a homo. You're a homo. No, not homo. You're called homeless. So and this chick just got drunk. Everyone got drunk. I remember we had to carry one chick out. Oh, it was horrible. Thank God Bill Cosby wasn't around. He would have been like, hey, can I take her home? But yeah, I didn't go with that car, but I remember them saying like they had to basically like I don't know if they threw her on the lawn or like had a friend pick her up and like take her home, but basically the parents had to be confronted with a drunk daughter and they got the hell out of there. You're not sticking around for a dad. You're dropping off an unconscious daughter who just drank too much at the bonfire. Yeah, you're not hanging around for that dad. So those guys went off. This girl showed the tits, right? It was wild. I was so drunk that I went to go pee on a tree and I didn't take my penis out, or as the kids call it, penis. And just the pee went all over me. I still call it penis. I love that. And the pee went all over me. Urine. And I just like stumble with my friend inside his house, and his mom's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And she's like, go to the room, go to the room. She was cool as fuck mom. Everyone knows someone that had a cool mom, right? And I'm laying on the floor and stuff. And my phone, I guess, is ringing. And it wakes me up. I pick it up. And my mom's like, where are you? You didn't check in. I'm coming to pick you up. I'm like, ah, shit. And I've got piss all over my pants, throw up. Yeah, I puked a little bit. Second time drinking ever. A little throw up because we ate a bunch of cheeseburgers. Really, if I didn't eat the cheeseburgers, I'd be fine. I'm bending over. If you're watching video, I'm bending over. It's not because I have poo cramps. The microphone's down here. And I got to get a holder for it, but I'm poor and I spend all my money on alcohol and Mary Jane and my family, mostly alcohol and Mary Jane. And so I need to get a holder. Maybe I can hire someone on Craigslist just to come stand here and hold a microphone for me. That might be cooler. Get on the pod. Oh my God, you see that podcast with the guy who paid someone to hold a microphone? It's crazy. Kind of fucked up. Like, wow. My throat, if you drink a lot of coffee before doing a podcast or talking, your throat's going to get itchy. And then you have a water bottle. You can't even take the fucking lid off. Jeez. You know you're overweight and out of shape. You can't even, I can't. What am I, a woman? Okay. There you go. Okay. So I'm covered in, back to the story. I'm covered in all this shit. And I get up and I'm like stone on the walls, and his mom comes out. My friend's passed out. He's not helping me. And his mom comes out. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, we drank a little bit. She's like, "Yeah, no shit. You humped the dog. You passed out in the hallway. And you flipped off grandma's photo." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sorry." And then she goes, "Okay, I'm gonna help you out here." And she gave me a bunch of breath mints. Okay, she combed my hair because I had hair, but it was all fucked up, right? And she kind of helped me button my shirt. I think I put a sweatshirt on. I think she gave me a sweatshirt. And then my mom pulls up. She's like, I'm out front. And I come out and I'm like stumbling. Okay. I have a zipped up sweatshirt that's not zipped and I have no shirt on. Okay. Because the shirt has throw up. I have it in my hand. And I'm stumbling. I go in the car and we drive off. And my mom's like, she's mad, but she doesn't realize like what's she's so tired from waking up in the middle of the night and worrying about me. She doesn't realize how funky I am with the smells and everything. She's just like, what happened? I was like, oh, we were playing video games. I fell asleep. She's like, you shouldn't have done that. I'm like, sorry, I ate a bunch of cookies. She's like, okay. I got away with it. And then we got home and I passed out. And then the next day, next morning, I go to breakfast. I'm like, sorry, I didn't call you. Videos. And then she's sitting, she goes, hey, oh, why is one of your shoes a stiletto? I wore a chick shoe. I didn't realize it. I put one of my friend's mom's shoes on instead of my other shoe. That's how messed up I was. Second time drinking. And then she kind of smelled my clothes once she saw the shoe and realized I got drunk. And let me tell you, no video games for a while. She was pissed. She's like, no allowance. You can't go to that girl's house and play with her titties. I'm like, okay, damn it, don't take away the titties. So, anyways, family memories. I just came back from a family reunion. And let me tell you, it's not a family reunion until someone throws up. You know what I mean? I posted on my Instagram underscore Alex Woody comedy. Well, fuck, it's not there anymore. I might post it as a post, but I had it as a story of my cousin just hammered the first night. We're there just over the weekend, rented a house, family came out. My cousin just, someone's hammered when they're going back and forth and they're, they just sound like a fucking Bruce Springsteen trying to come up with something. New Jersey, just kind of sounds Native American, but don't curse me. I love you, cousin. But he was just hammered and all over the place, and everyone was drunk. And I ended up, I'm 33 years old, okay? My mom knows I've smoked weed, I've hit the bong, the pipe. I mean, she's collected this. One time she went on vacation. You're a little brat when you're a teenager. Hope my son doesn't do this. Don't do this if you listen to this episode, little rat. I went through her stuff, okay? And it was like a year before she collected like a grinder from me. She's like, you can't have this. You're too young to smoke. The grinder, you grind up the Mary Jane. She took that like a pipe. And I find all this stuff. She's using it. I'm like, that hypocrite mother. Can't call her a fucker because she's my mom. I want to be polite, but I'm still angry. I remember I did a set, and the guy's like, I loved your set, but I didn't like when you called your mom a bitch. I'm like, you're a bitch. It was a joke, asshole. She called me an asshole and laughed. Back it off. And so, anyways, what was I talking about? Thanks, Mary Jane. So, everyone's hammered, okay? The mom's drunk. And I pull out a blunt, 33 years old, and I smoke with my mom. I posted a little 10-second video. It's kind of in the dark. Hey, I took it really drunk and high. And it's, my mom high with me. And I found it amazing because we both have been high. You know what I mean? She'd get high, I get high. We meet up and do something. It was bound to happen. And let me tell you, it was pretty cool. Other than the fact that I got my mom so high, she fell backwards. Yeesh, I shouldn't be laughing. That was scary. She was talking to my wife, and then she just went, and banged her head on the fucking ground. I mean, that would have been horrible. Like, my mom had to go to the hospital for a time I got high with her. That would have been devastating for like a week. And I got high with her again and said sorry. But no, it was, we had to like check on her and like make sure she wasn't bleeding or anything, but it was definitely a kind of a buzzkill. I think we went to bed after that, when someone always gets hurt at a party and then kind of just, I think we should stop. You know what I mean? We're Irish and Italians. That's how we stop, you know? My family, I realize too, they like to party, but we don't get all together all the time. You know what I mean? So fuck it. You party, you fall, you hit your head, you wake up, get a little sense knocked into you, and you move on, you know? And let me tell you, it was fun. It was fun. We were all drunk, and I kind of have a cousin who's kind of woke. You know what I mean? And he's for kneeling for the flag and just, whatever, good for him. And my uncle, who's the opposite, right? He's like, yeah, I don't think we should kneel for the flag. It's kind of like an FU to the Americans. And my cousin was so hammered, he was like kind of passed out on the couch, but kind of like, and just like, my uncle went into like, that Republican kind of stuff. I could see my cousin like tossing and turning, like, what? No, no, no. But he was so drunk he couldn't say anything, but I know he was fucking pissed. And I just laughed and watched. I don't participate in politics, because you can convince me. I'm a horrible person to talk politics because one side convinced me, oh, yeah, yeah, fuck them. And then the other side convinces me. I mean, sometimes I don't call people because conversations always turn into politics. You'll watch an NBA game and then call someone and be like, oh my God, they support Black Lives Matter. How could you? You're a moron. And I'm like, I just like sports. It's like, come on, and then you talk to the other side and they're like, you bought a red hat, you support them. You're like, I thought it was pro-America. I didn't know, that's how dumb I am. I had to go through that. I voted for Trump the first time. And I'm like, oh, sorry, and it's whatever. I don't even know who to vote for, so whatever. But I bought the red hat. I was one of the first guys that bought that red hat. I was like, ooh, hey, America. And they're like, fuck you, you son of a bitch. I was like, okay, I didn't know I didn't know what it meant. Someone had to tell me. I was like, oh, I had a friend like call me. He's like, dude, I saw the post on Instagram, take it down. You know what it means? I'm like, oh, I didn't know. Apparently this means white power. I didn't even know that. It's like all these things you learn and you gotta learn them. I feel bad for the people that don't learn them and then they're out in public and they're doing stuff. People are like, oh my God. Don't whatever, fuck people, right? You do what you want. It really doesn't matter. I talk to some people who are like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? They don't even, I talk to some people that don't even have time to watch the news or anything. And that's the majority, I think, of people. And they're like, grow up. You know what I mean? You serious? You believe in all this? I was like, I don't know what to believe. Help me. Horrible. It's too much. Ugh, politics. Ugh. Look at it. It just buzzkilled the whole podcast too. You see what politics does? Ugh. Let's get rid of politics. Let's just live off the land. Fuck it. Like tribes. Let's just be tribes again with fucking bow and arrows and fucking guns. Get off my property. Bah, bah, bah. That would be sick. Life would be a little dangerous, and my family probably wouldn't survive that long because I don't own any weapons. People are taking this apartment and raping and pillaging me, of course, but my wife and son will be watching in horror. But I need to work out. I have no martial arts skills. I've fired a gun once and I cried. My family is doomed. My wife is tough for me. That's why I marry Latina, because I know they're tough. They can deal with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? They can deal with a lot more than white people. I feel like white people had to cross a river going into a country. 99% of them would drown instead of fucking 5, like the Mexicans. You know what I mean? So, oh my God, my feet got dirty. Let's not go to that country. Let's deal with the tyranny. We compromise for bullshit. I do. Let's maybe not speak for all the whites, but I compromise for bullshit. It seems like a lot of other races stand up more than whites. Don't you think? We don't stand up for shit. Maybe teachers. Yeah, I'm talking shit. See how I go into politics and it's like, you're stupid. Get out of it. Leave. I know a lot of people with this podcast, they come and go. They're like, oh, I thought you voted for this guy. See ya. I thought you voted for this guy. See ya. But hey, you come and go. I get that. I used to come and go when I was single. Ew, that was a gross face. Did you see that? Oof, my mother's vagina. People who have a podcast, it's an excuse for them not to feel psycho. Because it's an excuse to talk to themselves. They're like, oh, I'm doing a podcast. I'm not talking to myself and doing my jokes out loud. Ideas, premises, horrible ideas. Not, but then I'm looking at myself right now. It's very weird. And then I get on stage, I'm like, I'm not used to this. I'm used to looking at myself. Comedy this Wednesday. I'm gonna be at Clayton Valley Bowl in Clayton, California, 8 o'clock. This fucking venue, let me tell you, it's the craziest venue. I've talked about before on previous episodes. Go check them out. A guy got caught breaking into a car. He got his hand stuck in the door handle. I posted it on my Instagram. Crazy. Okay. I met a male gigolo. I talked about that on a podcast. That was weird. You know what I mean? He talked about how he got into it. Basically, a guy just called him and said, "Hey, you want to bang old chicks?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, that makes sense. You know, I figured you would think it'd be like more of a crazier thing, like he had to go to school for it or someone recruited him when he was roller skating. But no, it's just a simple, "Hey, what do you think about this?" "Oh, yeah, I like pleasure." You know what I mean? That was it. The guy was weird as fuck though. He had a fur and then he had that one long pinky nail. Like, okay, you snort something or hurt people with your pinky. And he talked to me and he was greasy or he was chewing gum and he had one of those like herpes or I don't know, cold sore. It could have been from sweating too much. Like that's how you get pimples, but it didn't look like a pimple. Let me tell you, guy, I get pimples. Didn't look like a pimple. And a lot of fun times at this place. Okay, the crowd is crazy. Some guy one time the ambulance had to come because some guy fell and banged his head and there was blood and crying. I mean, that's how the show ended. Okay, and what a great ending to a show. You know what I mean? Guy lived, so the ending's great. If the guy died, it would have been horrible, right? But still kind of cool. Okay, I'm going home. But yeah, it was a fun show, and I'm ready to rock and roll it there. You have to go in like because they're all like bar people and like they're like blue collar, like someone's named Bubba Gump there, like someone's favorite movie is Fast and the Furious, like someone wants to be Burt Reynolds. It's a lot of people that get happy when they think about cigarettes. It's a lot of people that look forward to meth. That's these kind of people. I'm about to go in there, respect Oakland, and bada bing, bada boom. You know what I mean? It's one of those places you don't bring up politics. I've seen comics from San Francisco and just ones that like to talk about politics, but they're really left and just struggle. Like, yeah, fuck Trump. They're like, "What, motherfucker, that's my uncle." I'm like, "Oh my God, QAnon's my grandpa." I'm like, "Oh, tell me who it is." I mean, is it Jack Nicholson? What is it? That'd be crazy if QAnon was Jack Nicholson. "Hey, man, I didn't want to say anything." That's my horrible Jack Nicholson impression. Going to hell. But it's a fun place, rowdy, but they do quiet down and listen for the comedians, so it's kind of a good mix. So I'm looking for that. That's Clayton Valley Bowl. It's a bowling alley, but they have their own room, so it's not as horrible sounding as you think. And they have like a dope headliner, Dennis something. I know I could picture his last name, but I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I don't even want to pronounce it. But he's got a bunch of views on a video on YouTube. So hey, props to him. I got a bunch of views on a video too on this podcast. 19. Haha. The age I lost my virginity. So come out to that show. I think it's free too. How many free things you can go to? Hmm. And then August 18th, we're just doing two promos in the middle of the podcast. No big deal. August 18th, I got a show at Retro Junkie, and I got America's Got Talent recent contestant Kabir Singh. Yes, this guy's hella funny. He's put me on a bunch of shows, and he's gonna be rocking it, headlining. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be August 18th. Retro Junkies in Walnut Creek. I just like stared off at the wall for a second. You ever do that? It's a little stone. You're like, yeah. So, anyways, the Yankees. You know what I mean? Just pause for a second. So that's gonna be fun. Those two shows, we're gonna be rocking and rolling. By the way, did you see health officials claim that Las Vegas is an unhealthy place to go right now? It's a huge health risk. I'm like, it sounds like these health officials are in the airport of Las Vegas leaving hungover. You know what I mean? You always feel like that when you're leaving Vegas. You're like, oh my God, how much money did I spend? The wife's going to kill me. How much drugs did I do? That's why I feel horrible. One time I had to drive back, like, from there to the Bay Area, it's Well, it's from there to LA, I think it's like 5 hours. And then from LA, it's like 6 hours. So it's like 11 hours, right? Is that the math? Jeez, that's like kid math. I'm like, oh my God. Um, it was hell. I had no money. I basically didn't eat and barely had enough gas. I had to like, just like pay. That's the worst when you pay gas with change. You're like, oh yeah. And you're like dressed really nice too. It's that always got to fuck cashiers' minds up, right? You're like wearing a brand new Adidas tracksuit, sunglasses, a little gold chain that Papa gave you, and you got the sweats on that are fancy and the nice Jordans, Nike. And the guy's like, how much gas do you want? You're like, can I get 10? And they're like, okay, how are you gonna card or cash? Pennies. Here you go. It's like you're just sliding over a bunch of pennies and they gotta count them and you got like five people behind you. You're like, I love being poor. Comedy. That's fun. That's humbling. That'll help you not be cocky in life. This is what I like to live by. I like to look cocky and then what is it? I like to look cocky and not be cocky. You know what I mean? Like I know my place in life. But if you saw me from distance, you would think I was an asshole. But you talk to me, you're like, oh, this guy's humble as fuck. He's broke. Wife doesn't let him bang. It's son hates him. It's this guy's humble as hell. He's very self-deprecating too, which is refreshing because we don't get that enough, you know. So I love self-deprecating. It actually does make me feel better, kind of. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. It's good to laugh at everything in life. It really is. It makes life better to laugh something off. I remember a lady flipped me off. She's like, fucking pig, fat shit. Like driving, like, sorry, like I'm stoned. And both stop at a red light next to each other after that. And she's like looking over at me. And I'm like, hey, hey. I just totally act like a Mormon with the shirt and the name tag with the Bible in hand. Hey, good to see you. Hey, baby. It totally throws someone off. And you know what? She didn't know what to do. She's like, what? I want to murder you. What? This is her face was like, I thought his head was gonna explode. I'm like, are you a robot? It just throws people off to be nice. It really does. I know sound like my mom right now. Gosh damn it, mom. I hate sounding like you guys were right. I should have listened to everything. I hate when you realize that in life. But good to be nice. Pays off too. You'll get something. But you know, it is kind of annoying, right? You ever meet someone too positive, like, "Hey, how's it going? I just filmed a movie. You want to watch it? You watch it. It's horrible." He's like, "Hey, what do you think? I think I might enter in a contest." I'm like, "It's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen." But you don't want to tell the guy that. He's like, "Hey, I'm just natural like this. I know Jake kind of suck. I just have fun." I'm like, "You're too on. You need to just chill. Can we hang out and drink a coffee?" He's like, "No, let's go play golf. Let's go do this. I just want to chill." You know, it's. Have you ever met someone like that? It's very annoying. It's that's a buzzkill right there. I just want to chill back, drink some coffee, talk shit. You know what I mean? You see the Kardashians? Horrible, right? The butts, they look like diapers. They look like full diapers. This is gross. Don't get a fake butt. If I have a daughter, don't get a fake butt. My son, don't get a fake butt. So these overly positive people, it's like, okay, we get it. Live life to the fullest. Yeah. You have a heart attack any second. Get it. Thinking about that already. I'm stoned. I'm paranoid about life. It's a good way to live. You appreciate it. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing this. I'm doing this. You're not doing much. You're out of your mind. You're not in reality. Chill. You ever think people are too over positive? They're just like dying inside. They're just miserable at home. Like they just get home. Like they walk through the door. Ah, I hate my life. It's got to be right. I don't. It's hard for me to fake it. That's the hardest thing actually with stand up is going up there on stage and faking it and being like, hey, I'm super happy. Like usually I gotta talk about something, but kind of make it funny, and then I kind of feel better on stage. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not like fake, like hey, and then start reading a script. Those guys, ugh. I'm like a couple years in the comedy. I'm like, I don't like this, but fuck it. Overly positive people. Hey, how's your life going? You ever talk to one of those? And like, hey, how you doing? They're like, They're trying to play off like something horrible that happened to them is not that bad. Oh, whole family died in a plane accident, but everything's all right. Can I get a caramel macchiato? Like, okay, can we be real right now? I like real people. That's why I like black people. They'll tell you how it is. Motherfucker, you came in looking racist. What's your deal? I'm like, sorry, I had a bad day and wife yelled at me. I don't know how to spend money well. Oh, I got you. I got you. They're chill. They're fucking real. And you talk to some people and they're like fucking life's good, life's good. Like I just read your Facebook post. You want to kill yourself? That wasn't me. I feel better now. I'm like, you need to cool it on the Prozac. You need to cool on the SSRIs because they're making you psycho. You ever talk to someone on too much of those? They're like, hey, how you feeling? Oh, well, the doctor has me on this and that. And I'm like, you need to get off of that. This is horrible. I remember I got on, get this, okay? I got on antidepressants for a little bit because I couldn't figure out why I was depressed. I was doing drugs at the same time. Hello? You know what I mean? God, we were dumb young. You know that? I think I fell down some stairs definitely a couple times in life. That hit in football did ruin something in my head, but we're smarter now, right? But fucking I just remember it making me weird. I'd be like no emotion. Those like antidepressants, yeah, you're not depressed, but you have no emotion. You're not real anymore. You're like, yes, I would like a sandwich too. They're like, do you feel sad about that? No, I feel no emotion. I think I said that one time. You turn into Data basically from Star Trek. Yes, sir. Okay, over and out. Like a robot, Bad drugs. The only drugs I like are from the ground. Marijuana, mushrooms, alcohol. Alcohol comes from the ground. Barley. Hi, barley. Oh, sorry, down there. Hi, barley. I only trust stuff from Mother Earth. Once you start making stuff in the lab, that's when you turn into something from a lab. I'm on SSRI. No, I get that maybe some people need to be on it. I didn't need to be on it. Okay. And there's probably some people that don't need to be on it, but the doctors convince them to because they get money every time they prescribe something, right? They get a cut too. They make deals with these companies who push these pills. You only really need them if you're in like a dire situation or if there's really something chemically off. You got to figure it out. You got to be real. You know what you got to do? I knew I had a drug problem back in the day when I was on those. When I started hanging out with black people, I was buying drugs down there in Oakland, just respect. And they're telling me, boy, you gotta stop it from buying from me. I even have the drug dealer say, you buy from me every day. Maybe you should cool it. That's bad. You're doing a lot of drugs when and you have a problem when the drug dealer is telling you to cool it. You know what I mean? So honestly, I like real people, and I'm not just saying black people are like that, but from what I've come across, I've dealt with a lot more real black people than real white people. I'll tell you that. Mexicans are cool too. I like the Mexicans. Gave me my wife. You gave me my wife. By the way, I'm going to be on a blind comedians podcast. I'm doing after this, so that should be interesting. Hey, how you doing? No waving or anything. No, the guy's great. He was in the crowd, and I knew he was blind, and I'm like, I went up there and took a risk. I didn't really know him. I was like, did some blind jokes, and he laughed, and he stabbed me afterwards. He's like, you embarrassed me, you motherfucker, you fat piece of shit, but racist cocksucker. But we're cool now. You know what I mean? My wounds healed. He put his knife away. No, blind people love me. Majority of people love me, other than I wouldn't say the race that probably hates me the most, or the people that hate me the most, are like young white women. Like just really into wearing a beret and a nose ring and protesting a lot. I don't know. I think people just don't know I'm joking a lot about stuff, and then sometimes my jokes go far and they're like, you're horrible, They just don't get me like you guys. You guys are fucking savages for hanging out with me. Grandma, I love you. You fucking rock. Did I tell you I had a Clayton Valley Bowl this Wednesday? August something. Horrible with dates. August 4th. Hey. It's because it's August 2nd. Tomorrow's August 3rd. You see how quick I did that math? I added 2. Smart guy. I'm telling you, I'm a smart guy. Vegas, not going back until I have money. The reunion, smoked with my mom. I said that. Ultra positive people are annoying. Oh my God, I had a dream the other night about the wife and her friend. Okay, but it's not what you think. The friend's bossy in real life. She's kind of a bitch. And in the dream, I'm like having sex with the wife, and the friend's like, "No, you can't. What are you doing? You call that this? What are you? Ew! Just do it like this." You know what I mean? She was like, it was like a nightmare. It was not fun. I couldn't keep it up in the dream. She's like, "You call yourself a man?" It was horrible. It was horrible. And some guys like that. I've seen that online. Like it's called humiliation. I find it appalling. I do not want to be humiliated. I do that enough with stand up, but especially in the bedroom, I don't mind stand up. You're goofing around and stuff, but in the bedroom when you're naked and stuff and vulnerable, that's when you're vulnerable. Oh my God, that is, man. Let me tell you, nightmare. The dream end with me punching her and running out, and I know you're not supposed to punch women, but it was a dream. I was hurt and it felt like she was going to hurt me. I felt scared. So justifying a punching of a woman in a dream. Um, I got a quick joke for you. Christians aren't going to like this one. What did God say to the humans? Nothing. Still waiting for your answer, God. Watch me get a heart attack. There's your answer, cocksucker. Fuck. People are actually scared to like talk about him and joke around because they think something bad's gonna happen to him. Yeesh, I'm scared. Got him. By the way, the UFO thing, can we find one? Please. I'm so sick of the talking. It's like, well, we saw it was really quick and then it went in the water. It's got to be a UFO. And they're like, the Pentagon, they released papers and it's going to be a thing. I'm telling you, there at any moment now we're going to find out the aliens are real and they're going to be here. It's like never happens. And I'm like, guy, find me one. Give me an answer. I bet you that Blink 182 guy is going nuts. Yeah, crazy, right? These UFO guys, they're like, any moment they're going to be discovered. The Pentagon, they're releasing the papers. I read the papers. Nothing was there. The Area 52, the Roswell, that was a balloon. It wasn't a balloon. They released it in the fucking documents, you dork. These people, it's like, they're going to tell us any moment. And then like they keep coming out with videos like on the news and stuff. Like, this just in the Pentagon, and it's like fired people from the government tell you, yeah, they got them. Why did you guys get fired? Because you're crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's never someone working for the government saying that they have stuff. It's always like someone fired. It's like this is dumb. This is annoying. Really, the UFO thing. It's officially annoying. How about this? Hey, news people, stop talking about it until like we see the green guy with the big eyes. That would be nice. Can we talk about something else? Respect Oakland. Let's talk about it. Let's keep the A's. That Oakland A's could be leaving and then Oakland's gonna have no teams. That's more interesting than the idea, than the not the idea of aliens, but the fact of hearing the same thing over and over again. I'm sick of it. Okay, we get it. Give me a new story. Give me something, you know? I don't hear about Nebraska. No, I don't give a fuck about Nebraska. Sorry, Cornhuskers. I'm sick of hearing the same thing over and over again. I get pissed off at my wife. You get pissed off at your spouse? She says the same thing over and over. Okay, I got it. And then you blow up. They're like, hey. Then they get on you. You know what I mean? Hey, why are you blowing up on me? Because you're saying the same thing over and over again. That's annoying, right? I try to change it up on here with new jokes. I know they're still horrible, but who wants to hear the same thing over and over again? I try to give you new stories. I've repeated myself a couple of times and I apologize. But the UFO thing, disgust. Give me something, Horrible. Just figure it out, folks. Well, I think I might have to get to this Blind Guys podcast. But before I go, I met someone that said they haven't looked at their shit for 25 years. And I'm like, how do you go through life after going poop and not looking at it? This person has wiped, looking at the wall, and wiping at the Kleenex, looking at the Kleenex or tissue. I like wiping with Kleenex, so way better wipe. Socks is the best stuff. If you have an extra pair of socks, wipe with that, but don't flush them. Let me tell you, that'll piss off the wife. Wipe, and then not look. This is what that person has done for 25 years. I always look at my poop. It tells a lot about what's going on with your body. And, kind of cool. I'm like, why is there branches in there? I did swallow a blueberry. I knew it. It's very cool. Oh, that's where that toy car was. Sorry, son. Crazy. You always find out something new about a family member. Guys, my name is Alex Woody. Thank you for listening to Midnight in the Bay podcast. Oh, by the way, I have to talk about one of my sponsors, but not without music. Not without music. We're going gangster. Going gangster. Going gangster. Yeah, check out Silver Tongue Audio. They're a great website to go to. Yeah, silvertongueaudio.org. Go there for a free podcast. Yeah, you'll get my podcast right there. Midnight in the Bay all day. Free podcast downloads right there. Check it out, Silver Tongue Audio. Check it out. Another podcast to check out. Dazed and Disturbed. Oh, it sounds scary, but it's not. The guy smokes a lot of weed and talks about a lot. Yeah, he talks about dark things. That's about it, okay? Yeah, we're dad. We're trying to rap. Yeah, I know that. But also check out this podcast on Silver Tongue Audio. Check out NPC Podcast. It's a non-player character podcast. It's about video games. If you haven't figured that out, mama. Yeah. And they also talk about addiction. So go check out those podcasts. It's been a great podcast. I love you guys. I'll be back. Come check me out at Clayton Valley Bowl.